Um, I used to work here as a teenager maintaining the park, cutting the grass, using weed whackers, trimming trees, whatever had to be done. And over here, I can zoom in. Yeah, I can. This is the relics of what's left over from the old General Motors plant that used to be here. Over in that area used to be a trailer I used to hang out at, and the guys who worked for, used to be called Conrail, or I guess, I don't know who they worked for actually, but they worked in a railroad. And one guy who's like a friend of my cousin's, of somebody, brought me for a ride in the train. He let me control it. I'll never forget that. I must have been like 12 years old. Hopped up in the train, big black diesel giant freight train, and to make it go you would slide the switch, like a handle, to the right or the left. You had number 1, 2, 3, 4 and up, and the higher the number the faster you went. And then the brake, you would gently pull down on this switch to slow down and stop. It wasn't that hard. I was 12 years old running a freaking train. We went from here, Sleepy Hollow, New York, up to Croton on the train. I mean, you can't get away with that nowadays. Are you kidding me? But that's how things were different back then. That's the Hudson River. That's the Palisades Mountains, part of it. It continues down there. Now what's interesting, we'll talk about global warming. They found, checking the rocks, when lava dries, it's something like the cells or something in the lava point north, and they were able to calculate the section that broke off of these mountains were found down in Africa or somewhere over there. I don't know, but that it's like, how long have we been around, mankind, right? Around 100,000 years? I don't know. Oh, I gotta say humankind. I'm sorry, not mankind, humankind, because gotta include everyone else. So anyway, so this was General Motors, and now it's been replaced with it's funny, the hard working middle class blue collar workers would sweat their asses off 3 shifts at one time putting cars together at General Motors. My dad worked there too. I knew a lot of people that worked there. That's what made Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow, was General Motors. And during World War II they were making airplane parts also, but now it's been replaced with overpriced condos. And so now the people from the city are moving up who don't sweat and work their asses off, all trust fund babies and overpaid people coming up from the city, and they move into these condos, apartments. It's weird. I wonder if at night they can hear the ghosts of the people that used to sweat their asses off in the factory. There's a train now. Yeah, so at night, when they connect the freight cars, they would pull forward and then back in, or pull into each car, and they make this huge banging noise, because that's how you put the rail cars together. You just slam into each other and they couple. And at night, talk about not being able to sleep. They'd be doing it till about 11 o'clock at night, I think. Then I guess there was a rule they would stop, or maybe 10 o'clock, I forgot. But I lived right down the road. So I used to cut this field with a big tractor. You had to pull behind the type mower attached to the tractor. And over here, I want to show you really quick. My boss's name was Frank. Really, Frank Porcello. smoked cigarettes all the time, always drinking coffee. I didn't realize how stressed out he was or his health, but he passed away at the age of like 54 or 55. He had a heart attack, I heard. I wasn't living here at the time. I was out in Vegas. I was living in Vegas at the time, but they put a memorial over here for him on a rock. I want to see if it's still here. It should be. There should be no reason to remove it, you know. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. This garden is planted in loving memory to the life and the spirit of our friend and colleague Frank Porcello, Superintendent, Kingsland Point Park, 1969 to 1994, Westchester County Department of Parks, Recreation, and Conservation. Isn't that cool? So that was my boss, Frank Porcello. I moved to Vegas, came back, and I found out he had passed away. So a few things have changed. There's a pavilion there you can rent out and have picnics and stuff. That's the Hudson River. You can see a tugboat going down. And there's a really big ship. That's probably carrying oil. I don't know. There used to be more trees over there. Over here, you have the restrooms, which are now closed. So they have porta potties. But it was weird, the urinals for the women, they would like stand over it. I guess that was the European style, I don't know. And this used to be our playground. Now it's a doggy park. So now where we used to play, they shit. Chat if you want. I'm watching for any chats, any questions. Do you have any questions? Other than, am I freezing? Yes, I'm freezing. It's cold out. Look at that view. I used to love, it was nice working here when I was a kid because this was your office. Like, look at that view. That's the Hudson River. Up to the right, there's Peekskill way up there. Look at the mountains. Tugboats. I think that's an oil tanker, I'm not sure. And then we have the rules. Lots of rules. No loud or amplified music. Yeah, right. Come down here on a Saturday or Sunday during the summer. Look at all that. Damn. All those rules. No fireworks. Yeah, right. My niece's dad passed away and they came down here and had a picnic and we gave them like, I don't know, about 10, what do you call them? Not mortars, fireworks. Cakes. They lit them off. Cops didn't bother them. I'm gonna head back to the van. Can somebody do a test chat, see if it's working? I tell you, it's cold here by the river. Man, where I was about 20 minutes ago, it's not that bad. And I was north of here. Usually north is colder, but the cold breeze coming up this river. When I was a kid, this river used to freeze so thick, they'd have icebreakers coming up and down. And we would walk in the river. We would walk in the ice. See how far out we can go. Now, with, I hate to say it, yeah, the climate's changing a little bit. It hardly ever freezes. It hardly ever freezes now. But these have icebreakers going up and down the river at night. It sounded like a thunderstorm. It's like, you know, that was the icebreakers crushing the ice. So that way it left up in the waterway for the ships going up and down the river. La, 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 la.